Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your Gamer Talk or the Gamer Khan. So today is part one of our mining journey. So today I'll discuss about how to choose a good gaming PC mining rig or a pure mining rig upon discussed upon you guys. It's up to you guys to decide whether you want to go full throttle mining or you just want to be a casual miner with a good amount of hardware support to play a good game or something like that. Both are possible with current GPU configuration and specs. So this is purely my opinion, and my opinion is as in the sense I have taken into consideration of multiple YouTubers, streamers and everyone online. So I might be wrong, they might be wrong, I might be right, they might be right, or somewhere in the middle. But these are optimal, which I feel so after checking multiple ways. So let's go ahead. This is part one. Stay tuned. Part 2, 3, 4, everything will come later on. So now we are going to select a good CPU, good graphics card, a good motherboard, and remaining things I will leave you guys to select. So let's go ahead. So first, before going to select a processor, you should understand the purpose of your computer. If it's multitasking other than just simply mining, which is like a monologue kind of thing, like it's a mono thing. You need a stereo kind of thing. You need a rig, good rig, which is worthwhile your time. You can play at almost every game with it. With the current RTX generation cards, it's possible to play almost all games, even in the RTX 3060 in max settings, with a good CPU and a supportive RAM system if you have one. So today I'm only going to discuss about which CPU you should choose, which GPU you should opt for, and which motherboard you should take in case you are mining alone or you are mining or gaming. So let's go. So first, let's select the CPU. So I've used a recent article from Tom's Hardware. I think you guys will be familiar with this guy. So this is actually published right now. The time is 12:47 a.m. and it is 16th of September today. It's within just 1 day period today, and AMD versus Intel, which CPU are better in 2021, and we have a clear winner. The winner is AMD. AMD wins, ticks in most spaces, everything including the security architecture, except for some few minor issues like overclocking and all. But it doesn't matter when you have a base clock of more than double of that basic of Intel for the same price which you pay. You don't need to overclock AMD as much as you think. But even then also it's overclockable to quite an extent. Only thing you have to sacrifice some things like you have to buy up a new fan or a newer or better cooling system because it gets heated up. Okay, so and price wise also AMD packs the punch for the dollar you spend. Even with the Threadripper series, which is supposed to be the most expensive in their line, the performance of this 3750 processor will be 3 times at the minimum of Intel equivalent. So keep that in mind. But we are not going to talk about Threadripper today because we are not going to do that much high things. We are poor people. Okay. So I used two tools to assess for a good processor. The first one is the user rating, in which I found out that performance and user ratings doesn't match together. So if you consider the user rating alone, you will find out it surprisingly only few AMD like processors comes in the top, and the main set is to this guy here. That is mainly because of the price. So price is very low, but if you consider the overall rank, it is only in the 37th position. So that is not good. So I went to another my favorite benchmarking website, that is Passmark. You can easily type cpubenchmark.net These guys have been there since I think a long time. Whenever I need to buy a new PC, CPU or GPU, I just go to this website and search. That's it. You'll get very good scores and values and even some prices which will not be accurate, but it will be somewhat updated for the time period. So there's so much in the list which this top, some few are like so highly priced. I think my budget of overall building PC won't even reach the budget of this particular Threadripper alone. So forget about the first few 10. We are leaving those. We are coming to more practical solutions where we have a CPU like around the 700 mark. So what you need to buy? So I have made a list. I have compared 5 CPUs, and surprisingly you will find it like all CPUs are just AMD Ryzen's. I'm not AMD fan. In my current PC itself, I am using a 6th gen i3 processor which is doing quite well so far. Multitasking, everything is going good. But as of now, the market is ruled by AMD, guys. If you don't know about this, read about this. Intel is punched out, totally punched out of this game. So just see this. So the price you pay for a 28,488 PC benchmark score for an AMD Ryzen 7 5800X, which is very widely used by most gamers, is almost $400, guys. It's so cheap. But when you come to India, it might change a little bit because the prices vary. These are all US based prices, but you can get somewhere nearby. So my choice among the, when you consider the cost factor, processor utility, especially for the mining, these processors are basically useless. Except for the one Ryzen 9 5950X, according to NiceHash, you can mine using that. You can make around $80 per day when you mine Monero, which is not going to be much beneficial for you guys. For that price, you can buy something else. Okay, so we'll skip CPU mining for now. But if you are interested in CPU mining, you can put a thread below. I will help you guys which CPU you should choose. So my pick will be among these 3. The best pick will be AMD Ryzen 3900X. The reason I will tell you shortly. So these are the current prices for various processors. So AMD 3900X is priced around 44,599. So remember, you can actually build an entire PC out of this spec alone. So if you don't want to shell out that much, you can opt much cheaper versions. So you have a lot of other cheaper versions. So Ryzen 9 5900X will cost you more than 58,000. So if you don't want to spend that much, you can simply go to Ryzen 7. You can buy a 5600X, like 5600X 6-core 12-thread processors will cost somewhere between 22,000. So that is, I think, in an optimal range to buy. So this is Amazon price. You can get much cheaper of this from other websites like MD Computers or Prime ABGP. You guys have to just Google search it. If you don't know, you just put a comment in the comment box. I will help you guys with that. So moving to next part. So we have selected our processor. If I am going to buy one, I'll officially choose a Ryzen 5 5600X, which is because that's more than enough for my purpose. But if you are into too much of gaming, you want ultra on all settings, then you can probably go for a Ryzen 7 5800X, which is better. Or even if you have some more cash to spend, you can go for a Ryzen 9 3900X. It's up to you guys. But remember this, the way you choose more and more higher end processors, you need to shell more money on motherboard also. Because there is something called B450, B550, B570X and all those things. These things are important when you select all these processors. So I'm going to talk about B450 motherboards next, because those are currently the most valued motherboards, which has good number of PCI Express slots and PCI Plus slots. So let's go to the motherboard section now. So we have choose the processor. It is Ryzen 7 5600X. Okay, so you have two options. One is you can choose a mining motherboard which will have plenty of the smaller PCI slots, no, and only one single PCI Express slots. But take my advice, don't go for that if you are not going into for like buying 6, 7 or 8 graphics cards and you are going to mine it seriously. Don't go for these bigger motherboards. It's not worth your money and it's not future proof also. Most of them are very old generation. Some of them even have their own CPU and all those stuff, but it's not worth your time. You can't game on these most times. Okay, so instead of that, there are other options in which you can fix up to 6 cards. That's more than enough for mining. I'll come to that now. So you have my all-time favorite Asus TUF B450 Plus gaming. This will go with very well with our chosen Ryzen 7 500X. It will be very good motherboard and it is under 10K. Or else we can also choose MSI Tomahawk, which also have, as you can see here, which also has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can actually use these all slots, mount up to 5 graphics cards, and you can use your primary graphics card in this slot also. So there are certain restrictions regarding speed and mining probabilities, but those are all applicable only when you are using an LHR card to mine Ethereum. Those things will come later on. These are like basic things, so we'll go for that in later advanced stages. So then you have another option in Asrock. This is a quite good motherboard. My personal experience with Asrock is this company is quite good. This company themselves supply the NZXT motherboards. Like basically they put grills over an Asrock motherboard and that's it. But for gaming, these motherboards are not that good. For gaming, you should either choose an like Asus one, which I just told you, or a MSI Tomahawk, or you can even go better with a Wi-Fi motherboard like Aorus, gigabyte Aorus motherboards like Pro Wi-Fi and all. But here only thing is your number of slots are limited. You will have only 1, 2, 3, 4, but or you can have up to 3 full-size PCI slots. And this is the main slot and you can connect in that also. More than the number of slots, you should always think about the spacing between these 2 slots. See, for example, in my system right now, I have mining in the background and I have 2 graphics cards like RTX 3060 and a 1050 Ti. The spacing is too narrow. There is only very little space between the 2 cards, so very little amount of airflow will happen between those 2. So if you are buying a big card and you are putting it on your motherboard, this is going to be a problem. And next thing comes to the most important part is the form factor. Buy an ATX motherboard. Don't go for the mini or micro ATX motherboards even if they have no more slots than this, because you can't mount every card on that. Even with risers, it will be very difficult and it will be very cumbersome. You will need more space to mount the rest of the cards. But in a motherboard like this B50 or a Pro Wi-Fi motherboard, you can simply mount everything on this. Nothing will happen, guys. You can easily mount it. Or you can put one riser here and mount the other one somewhere else. That is also possible. If you have a big enough cabinet, you can build on top of it. So my choice here will be a gigabyte B50 Aorus Pro Wi-Fi. But remember this, B50 motherboards are not future proof, but you can go for a little bit higher end like B550 as in here. It also comes on the similar price range, and this particular motherboard has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total, like possibility of 5 cards can be mounted with good spacing between each card. So that's another option. And remember, the smaller slot you can't mount a graphics card directly, you have to use a PCI riser here. So that's also there. So now moving on to the next part. So we have decided on the motherboard. My choice will be always and always a B50 motherboard from Asus series, because Asus is known for, especially the TUF gaming series is known for its build quality, thermal thermal index capability and all those things. So I'll always choose this over everything else. But when you choose a gaming motherboard, take into consideration about sound quality, number of slots, number of HDMI slots. Number of HDMI slots is not needed in this particular case, but you need USB 2 support, how many USB headers are there, how many USB 3.0 headers are there, whether or not it supports NVMe M2. These things has to be discussed. So those things we'll cover detail. But right now, the best choice motherboard under 10K range is B450 plus. So not this up. So now this thing has an honorable mention. It comes almost under the 10K range. It has numerous slots. So my second choice will be an MSI XF470, and this is also quite good. Okay, so my number one choice, as I told, will be the one which I showed you earlier. Number two will be B450 AORS Wi-Fi version, not the Elite version. So these are my options. So now we have covered the processor, we have covered the motherboard. Now going to the GPU, which is the most important part of our entire rig build. So before going to GPU, you should think about which coin you want to mine. So for that, you should think yourself what to mine. Okay, so then you should go to a website called what to mine. Simple as that. So in this, you can add number of GPUs, you can calculate whatever stuff you want, and you can end to end conclusion how much money you can make after electricity on different coins. So right now for me, I have a what you call 1050 Ti, a single one, which has a max MH of around 5 to 6, and I have an LHR version of 3060, that is this one, and I have like a total Kaupo algorithm mega hash about around 30 on average, and I consume my processor and all those stuff will consume around 250 watts. Sorry, it consumes roughly around 250 watts per second per calculation. So when I press calculate, so this is what I have. So my safe bet is to mine Raven coin, and currently with the electricity cost and all those stuff, I have put at the maximum I can make around $3 a month, which is okay, not that optimal, and I am not a serious miner. I'm telling you guys, I'm just mining to make this channel, that's all. So this is for people who are just starting mining and are not into investing around 5 to 10 lakhs to buy an ASIC miner or buy 7 to 8 380 GPUs and all those stuff. So this is for those guys who want to mine on a setup which is their gaming rig basically, and you are planning to put maybe 1 or 2 or maximum of 3 cards. So that's the thing. So among that, which will be most profitable for you? So for that, in what to mine, you go here, select GPU section. So in this, they will show you how much you can make on each card, single card, and this has been recently updated also. So you don't have to worry about it. So mind it, you know, there is no more these cards available for a real-time market, but you can get it on a scalpel price for used section in multiple websites. But I won't recommend that if you are going to game on this for quite some time. So my pick on this group will be 380 LHR, 3060 Ti and 3070 Ti, because the price and the current offering like is quite good. So among this which I have checked, the one of the best card to mine is this RTX 3080 Ti, not the 3080, 3080 Ti, because currently you can mine around $5 per month after all expenses, and it is quite good with the energy consumptions as low as it. So if you can get a setup like mine, like if you can get a 360 LHR for around 55 to 48, 55, 60, it changes in between. You can get a 360 LHR one, so you can get that one also. But you should remember this, they are showing some new coins, Rio and all. These things are not worth mining because these are all low volume coins and it doesn't trade in most of the exchanges. So right now the profitable coins to mine will be Raven, Ergo and Ethereum for all these cards, especially the LHR versions. So even if you unlock it also, the Ethash, they are showing better profitability, but the problem with Ethash is a minimum payout is also there, and there is something called gas fees, which all we will discuss later. So 3060 LHR version, you have an option to use. So you can use it on Capo algorithm and you can mine better. So coming to price, as I earlier told you guys, the other day when I was browsing, I found out some prices which is surprisingly too much fluctuating. So this is currently the price of an RTX 3070 Ti overclocked in a website called the Value Store. I preferably choose to buy from websites like PC Monster or like MD Computers and all, because those websites are genuine and these guys have been here for quite some time. So my choice here will be to get a RTX 3060 because it will cost you around 50,000 bucks. For the buying for this price, actually you can buy 3 RTX 3060s and the power consumption is way lower compared to these cards, and these cards are also gaming proof, very good for gaming, so you can use those cards. So in a total investment of 1.5 lakhs for 3 cards, you can easily get, currently my single card draws somewhere between, this is because this is low because I'm using too much of GPU memory while browsing. Background I was playing a music also, so those things take to matter. You will get around 22.8 if you leave it alone. So 22.8 for one card is quite good. So if you take the calculator, okay, 22.8 into 3 will be 68.4 mega hashes. So you put that into here, water mine, you go back, GPU. So where were we, like, yeah, we have roughly, yeah, this one. So I'll put 3060 LHRs and I calculate. Sorry, you have to add values here also. So I'm only dealing with this thing. So roughly it will be how much we calculated earlier. So this is 68.4. One graphics card draws a maximum power of around, you can see it here already, 146 kilowatt hour, but it changes, and mine averages around 160. So 3 into 160 is roughly 480 watts. Okay, that's it. And you press calculate, you will get it. So right now your mining profit is around what do you call, yeah, your mining profitability is around $6.78, which is not that bad. Okay guys, so that's it. Hope you have enjoyed the video. The remaining for individual cards, how much it costs and all, we will cover later.